The movie Rampage, based on the video game Rampage, is actually even worse than Kang Skull Island by the awful Jordan Roberts, and is even worse than Godzilla 2014, which was worse than Kang Skull Island. This movie was not fun, was not dumb fun. It was just plain dumb. It was about 40 minutes too long, or technically an hour and 47 minutes too long because it was a failure of a film. But anyway, it could have been benefited by being a lot shorter. The jokes and one-liners were the worst things I've ever heard in my life. The monster designs are a downgrade from what they used to be in the games. The clever things that they do add to the monsters, like Ralph flying and having Porcupine shooting needles, are woefully underused and nothing clever happens throughout the whole movie. Oh my god. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, while not being a charisma vacuum, I don't think he's been in a single movie I've thought was a good movie. I kind of enjoyed Fast 5 when I first saw it. It was just so dumb. It was actually kind of fun. Nothing else Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been in has really been any good besides... I can't think of anything. Maybe Walking Tall when I was a kid. Or the fucking... What's it called? The Mummy 2, if that even counts. Not really. I'm starting to think that based on what he chooses and what influence he has behind the scenes, he makes these movies fucking worse than they actually are. People say Schwarzenegger's a bad actor, but The Rock has no Terminator, not even Predator, not even Kindergarten Cop, even though he's been in stupid Disney tier comedies. So yeah, I do kind of blame him for this too, even though he's usually not what makes his movies bad. In particular, I thought he was okay in Moana, but that movie also ended up being shitty. Although I don't blame him for that. But yeah, every second of Rampage, I was just disappointed, thinking of how I would do it better. How for a fucking arcade game, for as little substances that you have to work with to make that into a movie, there was so much you could have done. They could have made it much darker as far as eating people and all the destruction that you could do. This movie didn't have any... They could have had an action scene where they're bouncing on those buildings like you do in Rampage. There's no scene where like all the levels of a building collapse in that kind of cool way when you stomp on buildings. There's like one building that falls over. There's no bombing run to try to kill the monsters as they get stronger. They don't pick anyone out of a building and then eat it. They maybe do it in the background. Maybe one girl and a woman in a red dress gets eaten as the kind of like climactic thing. God, it's really bad. Really bad, really unfunny, horribly paced. Just disgusting. I know I usually take everything people say with a grain of salt, but fuck Critical for his very uncritical moist meter opinion on this real shit heap of a movie. It's worse than Kong Skull Island and fucking Zilla 14. And if you like those movies, you should fucking kill yourself.